Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and any animals that may be listening, or it could be evening or night time, whatever time you are listening to this. This is episode 9 of our Change, Grow, Live Sefton podcast, YouTube channel, whatever you want to call us. Today we have the ever so beautiful Neil from the Hep C Trust. How the bloody hell are you doing?
Good morning, Mark. Yeah, it is good morning.
Yeah.
How am I doing today? I say a lot of names, by the way.
It's okay.
How am I doing today? Yeah, I'm absolutely doing all right this morning.
You sound?
Woke up this morning, the sun was shining. Done a little bit of connecting with people, and then made my way up to CGL to start my day.
Fab.
My day has started off today with the way it's supposed to.
I love it. I love your positivity all the time. I'm in the right mood today, I am. So I'm going to ask you some questions around the Hep C Trust, who you work for. Obviously, a lot of the answers I already know because I get to work with you in the building a couple of days a week. Only share what you feel comfortable sharing. I'll ask what your own experience. But again, anything you don't want to say, we'll wait until the recording's off. Then I'll ask it in private because I'm so nosy, I want to know the answers. But first off, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why would you have it?
A superpower. I've only got one power in my life, and it's not a superpower, it's a higher power.
Okay.
And without being religious, it's a spiritual power that I've got, and it's my higher power.
I love that.
Which I call God.
Okay.
Because without God, my life doesn't function.
That's amazing. Mine isn't so spiritual. I want to be invisible so I can move shit around people's houses and scare them. Things like that. Or fly. One of the two. But I much prefer yours. I like it. Okay, so you work for the Hep C Trust, that's right, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, Hep C Trust.
Okay, and how long have you worked with them for?
Actually, it was corrected the other week. I come into post in the 20th of June last year. So I've been in post for just over a year. But then somebody clarified and said to me, no, you've actually been in post for 20 months because I was 10 months volunteering for the Hep C Trust.
Okay.
Prior to my post, my employment.
Fab. Okay, so what led you to volunteer with the Hep C Trust then? Can you say?
Absolutely, I can say, yeah. So, for 28 years, I was out on active addiction, me.
Okay. And
then I come to a place, I just call it that place, where I knew I needed to change my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I got myself clean and got myself into detox and come out of detox. So about a year clean, I was in a place where there was no doors opening for me, and I felt trapped. Okay. Because I'd been in the merchant navy all my life. I'd been travelling around the world on ships all my life, and then I needed something else. So a friend of mine, good friend of mine, had just got a job at the Hep C Trust. Mm-hmm. And he invited me down to his house one day for a cup of coffee. Okay. And I knew he'd just got this job. So whilst I was there, I asked him what the job was like. I said, how's the job going?
Yeah.
And he said to me, oh Neil, he said, I love it. Mm-hmm. He said, I go out and I test people and I do this and I do that. And right away, something just went ping. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, that sounds cool. So I didn't go down there with the intentions of anything at all, no expectations of anything, just went down for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I went in, I'll explain it in a second, but actually the way I say it is I went in for a cup of coffee and come out with Hep C.
Right, okay. Right. I'm not going to it for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. So how that come about was when I was sitting there having a chat with him, and it came to a point where I was telling him how I felt a little bit trapped. I couldn't, there was nothing happening for me, and he actually said to me, well, why don't you come out with me for a couple of days, see how we get on, do a bit of shadowing, come out in the car and travel around. And I was like, I didn't want to start singing and dancing, but I thought, yeah, I'll have a bit of that.
Okay.
So I agreed. To go out with him, and my best mate he's my best mate. He always calls me a posh addict.
Okay.
Because I wasn't like anyone else. I just separated myself from people in addiction. That's what I done.
Okay.
And he always calls me a posh addict. So when I was chatting to him, he said, well, before you go, he said, let me give you the test. And I said to him, what do you mean a test? What for?
Yeah.
What for? What do you want a test for? You know, it's just a fingerprint test.
Yeah.
He was under the illusion that I'd never injected before. And I'd convinced myself all them years that I weren't like anyone else.
Okay.
So I am a real expert in burying and hiding stuff away in the bottom drawer.
Yeah.
So as soon as he said to me, let me give you the test, that bottom drawer flew open, and all that stuff I'd buried for years and years and years come flying out and come into my head.
Wow.
And I knew at that moment that I had put myself at risk. I knew I was the same as people that I'd injected, but I'd told myself for years and years and years that wasn't the case. I'd actually believed my own lies.
Yeah. And it happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, anyway, so we've got the test kit out.
Yeah.
Give me a fingerprint test. I legged it to the toilet because I didn't have a clue what hepatitis C was. Didn't have a clue what Hep C was. I just knew he was testing me for Hep C. And the majority of people that contract Hep C are like previous or current drug injectors.
Yeah.
And I was a previous drug injector.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I legged it to the toilet, standing in the toilet, sweat was just gushing out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, oh my God, he's going to find out.
Yeah.
He's going to find out because there's a chance, there's a possibility that I'm going to have Hep C, and he's going to kick me out the house and say to me, get out, get out.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not welcome. That's how I felt standing in that toilet, because of the stigma and the shame and the guilt around hepatitis C, because I didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I come out the toilet and I just crept into the kitchen, and he was standing there, and he had the test in his hand, and I remember him saying to me, it's positive.
Wow.
And I was like, nah, can't be, can't be. He went, it's positive. He was more shocked than me.
Really?
Because he thought for years and years and years that I'd just smoked heroin. I'd never injected.
Okay.
I was that posh addict.
The posh addict.
Yeah, the posh addict from Scotland Road.
From Scotty Road. Love that.
So anyway, because I love this lad to death, he's my best mate, I trust him with my life.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying to me, it's going to be alright. And I said, what do you mean it's going to be alright? I've got Hep C.
Yeah.
When am I going to die? I'm going to tell my family, when's my funeral? All that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, yeah.
People will find out, they won't like me no more, they'll turn their backs on me. But they've already turned their backs on me for years through my addiction.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do? And he went, Neil, it's going to be alright.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. I said, okay then. And because he was telling me that, I believed him.
Yeah.
I believed him. So that was at 9:25 in the morning. By 1 o'clock, I was on treatment.
No.
Yeah. 1 o'clock, I was on treatment, down the Royal. Put me on a machine, come back, I had an active virus. Prescribed me 3 months of medication. Took the 3 months of medication and was cured.
Fuck off.
Yes.
No.
So from that, I'd started volunteering with my best mate. I'd gone out and I actually loved doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because to find someone, to test someone, to treat someone and to cure someone, I know how that feels.
That's bonkers.
I know how that
So you went in for a coffee, came out with there?
Yeah. Best thing that ever happened to me.
Absolutely. So do you have any idea like how long you had it for or anything like that? How's your liver now? And
Well, the thing is, What I didn't focus on was how I got it, because I had it.
It doesn't matter how you got it.
It doesn't matter how I got it, when I got it. The most important thing was what I'd done about it.
Yeah.
To me, that's the way I had to focus.
Absolutely.
And that's what I tell clients that I come across every single day of the week now, because people ask me all the time, how did you get it?
Well, who knows?
I say, look, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What's important is that what I actually did about it.
Yeah. So do you still think then, you're amazing by the way, I didn't know that story, that's phenomenal, but do you still think then that there's still a stigma around like hepatitis, HIV, all that sort of stuff? Or do you think it's getting better as time goes on?
It's getting better because I'm employed by the Hep C Trust.
I
get out there and I raise awareness.
I've seen you drag people in off the street, it's phenomenal. I'm like, they're not even our clients, put them down.
Anyone and everyone, doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I really believe that there's a stigma still attached around Hep C. I find that awareness is fundamental, fairness, awareness is key.
Yeah.
People, and why would somebody know about Hep C if they didn't know about it?
Of course, absolutely.
So what I do when I'm on my travels and I'm out and about, I engage with people all the time.
Yeah.
Just general public on the street and stuff like that. I engage with them. I went to get my hair cut ages ago, last year, over a year ago. I ended up having to go with the barber because he never sanitised his clippers after each haircut. And when he explained to him and raised a little bit of awareness with him, he's now passed this message on to all his mates who now use sanitisers in all his mates' barbers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are the different ways then for people who are listening that you can catch Hep C?
Well, the high risk category is obviously current or previous drug injectors. I think it's about 80% of people contracting Hep C is current drug injectors.
Yeah.
But then people come into my life all the time that can't even spell the word drug, never seen a drug in their lives.
Yeah.
Don't know nothing about drugs. And there's so many different ways you can catch it. People going abroad for bloody treatments and the teeth done and all kinds of medical procedures done abroad, blood transfusions. You know, these are all risk categories, risk factors, crack pipes, razor blades, toothbrushes, tattoos, ear piercings. They're all risk factors. So this is what I do, I raise awareness around it.
It's amazing, because before I started working in the drug service, so now thanks to you, I test everyone that comes through for a key working session with me gets a test. If they've not already got one, not already had one at the nurse assessment, I'll convince them to have a Hep C test. And people will say, you know, I've only ever snorted coke. I'm not one of them, I don't inject. I'm like, well, look at the burst capillaries up your nose. You know, have you shared a straw with someone, you shared a note with someone? Oh yeah, I didn't think of it like that. And I never thought of it like that, you know, until thankfully I met you and, you know, got involved with the Hep C Trust. It's phenomenal. What you do is amazing. And the lives that you have helped save is amazing. I couldn't know what to say then. Beyond amazing.
Yeah, do you know what? Someone said that to me when I first started the job. They asked me what kind of job I'd done. And I was explaining the job and they said to me, you save people's lives. And I sort of shrugged it off. And it wasn't until I got home that night and put my head on the pillow and I was actually like, you actually do.
Yeah, it is.
Save people's lives.
Absolutely.
And now it just becomes more apparent when I have patients in the car with me and stuff like that. And they actually say to me, you've saved my life.
Yeah.
And this is why I do this job for the Hep C Trust. Because I remember when I got interviewed for the job, and I'm standing in front of these diabetology consultants and the Northern manager and these 4 people. I'm getting interviewed, my knees were shaking.
Yeah.
And I remember the first to make me feel more comfortable, because I've stood in front of interviews all my life, but this was something different. This was coming from a job I'd done for years and years and years away at sea.
Yeah.
To dealing with people's lives.
Yeah.
And I remember the hepatology consultant said to me, she says to me, relax Neil, she said, we're not employing you for your IT skills.
Love that.
We're employing you for your lived experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that just made me feel a lot better, because I'm shit with computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your lived experience is astronomical. And
Yeah.
the knowledge that you have, you know, is unbelievable. I learn from you all the time. It's amazing. So what would you say, so the best thing about working for the Hep C Trust or doing the job that you do, would you say, is it meeting the people, helping save lives, engaging with people? What would it be?
I think it'd be a mixture of all of that, Mark.
Yeah.
All of that, because, you know, I work for an organisation, the Hep C Trust is they're like a big family.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. And, you know, I can pick the phone up and speak to the CEO, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
Because the organisation that I work for is peer-led.
Yes.
Right from the top down.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of people that work for the Hep C Trust have all got lived experience in one way or another.
Yes.
And she won't mind me saying this because it's out there anyway, the CEO.
Yeah. Wow. Really? I didn't know that.
Right the way down, right through, filters right down to us.
Yeah.
And it's the Hep C Trust it works on volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have volunteers, a band of volunteers right across the country. We have a band of volunteers in Liverpool that come out with us and share their experience, give peer-to-peer talks in hospitals and recovery homes and drug and alcohol services and stuff like that, because that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
I used to go out and do these talks and stuff. But then I was employed to do the role. I'm the Sefton support lead, because there was no Sefton support lead in Sefton.
Mm-hmm.
Southport all the way down to Bootle, and I undertook that role. Now I just crack on with my day, but it's only when the likes of we go to a peer team meeting that they pull all the graphs and all the stats and all that off and everything else, right? And I have actually made a difference in Southport and Bootle.
Yeah.
With people's pathway into treatment and stuff like that. So what I do for CGL is I'm actually, is the word seconded?
Yeah.
I'm actually seconded to CGL.
Seconded, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually, that was a posh word.
It was. That's a thesaurus for your breakfast.
That was a posh word.
You see CGL's bitch on the Hep C thing, is what you
That's the
say.
one. That's the one. So I actually based in CGL, but apart from that, I'm actually in the community. That's where I actually belong, in the community, because I can just go and knock on doors and drag people and put them in the car and take them hostage, get them down, get them treated, and then they'll sit in the car and thank me. Thanks for kicking me door in, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and actually that's true.
Yeah.
You know, I hound people to the extent where they go, 17 voicemails you've left.
Really?
And on the 18th one, I thought, I'll have to pick up because he's hounding me.
Yeah, he's hounding me.
And I thank you for leaving them 15, 16 voicemails.
Yeah.
And this is what I do, because I know that. And I know that if I wanted somebody to help me, it would be me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so passionate about this
you
job.
are, yeah.
But in CGL, I came here, I think it was after about 6 months I'd been in the role, and actually nobody knew what I was doing here.
Mm-hmm.
We had all these, what's he doing, and then I started coming on a regular basis, attending flash meetings, and getting to know all the staff.
Yeah.
And someone said to me, you have to get in there and get known, and get yourself bouncing around and with all the key workers and all the staff, and this is what I've actually done.
Yeah.
And it's actually a nice place to come now.
Yes.
Because I'll be honest, at first I out of place, you know, because that's all right, because people didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, people didn't know what I was doing, but now they do.
Yeah, love having you here. You're a force when you're here, not just with the service users or when I see you drag people off the street, but with the staff as well. You know, you've tested me a couple of times, other staff members as well. It's just a breath of fresh air to have around.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that.
You know what? It's the absolute truth. I know I'm a bit of a bitch to everyone, but no, it's a pleasure to have you around. So what advice would you give someone then if they had concerns? They think, you know what, I've shared nudes with people, I've had unprotected sex, shared toothbrushes, been injecting in the past, it may have been 20, 30 years ago, whichever, but they don't want to get tested because they're scared. What would you say to someone? How would you get them to engage?
How would I get them to engage? Like I said before, I'd hound them.
Hound them until they just gave in to you?
Yeah, that's what I can do, because as you know yourself, Mark, we deal with the most difficult, unengageable clientele. It's okay engaging with our clients, it's staying engaged with them.
Yeah. A
lot of the time. And I find, you know, it was like yesterday, for example, I was up in Southport. I've been looking for someone for over a year. I actually got him yesterday.
For a year?
For a year.
Wow.
Right, last year, I treated him last year and I actually found him yesterday. Got him into CGL up in Southport and done a DBST on him.
Wow. So just explain what a DBST is.
It's a dry blood spot test.
Okay. So the actual test itself is just a prick of the finger, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, what I carry with me, I carry rapid antibody tests, and what they do, what they actually do, they'll give me an indication to whether that person has come into contact with hepatitis C. It doesn't tell me that that person's got an active virus.
Okay.
So if I tested somebody and it was, see what I learned a big thing from when my best mate told me I was positive.
Yeah.
And the thing I learned from that, because he used that word positive, I just crumbled.
Yeah.
So what I do now with my clients, if I sit somebody down and give them a rapid antibody test, I say to them, you've had a reaction to the antibody test. And then they say to me, what do you mean by that? And I say, well, it tells me that you come into contact with hepatitis C somewhere down the line, but it doesn't tell me whether you've got an active virus.
Okay.
So I always use that terminology instead of using that word positive.
Positive, yeah.
Because it just blows someone, you know, you hear the word positive and it's just like it's not good.
Yeah.
So I've changed that terminology because I know what it's done to me.
Yeah.
So I've sat down with people. Do you know what? There's no specific way of getting somebody to get in and get tested.
No.
Everybody's unique. Everybody's
a case by case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some people are so adamant they don't want testing.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to draw the line somewhere.
Absolutely.
It's very difficult for me to draw the line at times, though.
It's hard, isn't it? Because when you're so passionate about something, and I see it every time I see you, how passionate you are. You can hear just talking to you now how passionate you are about it, and it's a lovely quality to have when you love the work or passionate about the work that you're doing. To actually take a step back and go, you know what? I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. Then I've tried a little bit more and pushed it to the very edge. I need to stop now. I'm the same with my clients, and sometimes I want something for them more than they want it for themselves. So I hear what you're saying. It can be hard.
Yeah, it's like that old cliche, isn't it, about take the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it.
Absolutely.
Simple as that.
It is.
But sometimes I take the horse to the water
and drown them.
And then drown them and pour the trough over them. I really do. But yeah, but I just consistently get up in the morning, start my day, and just get out there and just do what I need to do.
Yeah, and you do an amazing job. So just on the back of the dry blood spot test, so somebody can have, if I had Hep C, if I've ever had Hep C in my life and I've had treatment, we'll come on to the treatment in a minute, but would I show positive, would I show that I've come into contact with someone with Hep C, but it's not an active virus, or can somebody have I can't think of the right terminology, so please correct me. So let's say, for example, can I have Hep C but not have an active virus? Or is it a case of you've got it or you haven't?
Yeah, I understand where you're going with that. So, for example, if I get tested, if somebody tested me now, it will come up that I'm antibody. Because I'm just with you now, I can use the word antibody positive.
Yeah.
But what that will say was that I will always carry the antibodies, hepatitis C. It doesn't mean I've got an active virus.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
So therefore, what happens then is somebody tests as a reaction to the antibody test. We then take them to, say, the Royal Hospital. I'll take them to the Royal Hospital. They'll either take venous bloods off them, or they'll put them on this magnificent machine that we've got called the Kefid machine.
Yeah.
Finger prick test. They'll put the little finger prick test, a little pipette of blood on there, and then within an hour, it will tell us whether that person has an active virus or not.
Wow.
And if they have, they'll get treated the same day.
No. That's phenomenal.
We are really, really, really blessed in this city.
That's crazy. Amazing, but crazy that the turnaround is that quick. Because when I started working in drug services over 10 years ago, the treatment, I don't think, from what I can remember that long ago, the treatment certainly wasn't that fast. And from what I can remember, the treatment also wasn't that nice. So what is the treatment and how does it work?
Well, the old treatment was interferon.
Interferon, that's it, yeah.
And basically that was, you had to take a tablet and self-inject in your belly every week. And I remember somebody, I was lucky I didn't have to go through that. I believe it was horrendous. I know people that's been through it and they still have the horrors about it now.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody saying to me, and comparing it to somebody that was withdrawn from heroin, which I know what it's like to be withdrawn from heroin. It's not nice. Times it by 100.
No.
And that's knowingly injecting yourself, knowing that you're going to be making yourself that ill. And it's going to be 100 times worse than a heroin withdrawal. And then somebody went, and more.
Wow.
So that's what it was like back then with the interferon days, and thank God things have changed, science has come on.
Yeah.
Nowadays we have like a 12-week course of Epclusa and an 8-week course of Mavorix, the Hep tablets, depending on what we call a viral load and a genotype. We treat them, and I myself was on Epclusa for 3 months.
Yeah. Which
has got a 97% cure rate.
Amazing.
97% blows me away all the time.
It's crazy that.
Yeah. When I do heart training, I always say, and the cure rate, and I've got a big circle around me, the cure rate, 97%. It is amazing.
Phenomenal.
Compared to what it was like the interferon days.
Yeah.
So basically a tablet a day for 3 months, and it's gone.
Any side effects?
No side effects, none reported. I think when people ring me up and they say to me, "Oh Neil, them tablets are doing X, Y, Z to me and this, that and the other," and then I normally get the gist of the phone call, and I'll normally reply and say, "When did you last have a pipe?"
Yeah, it was absolutely, yeah.
Or when did you last have a drink? Or when did you last have a lime?
Yeah.
A few minutes ago. Well, it might just be something to do with
that.
The substance that you're just taking,
As opposed to this medication.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Science, it's amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, blows me away.
So, okay, just stepping away from that for a second, if you could be an animal, what would you be and why?
I've never been asked this question before.
Well, you see, there's a first for everything.
Yeah, I've never been asked this question before. I'm thinking about the question. I love dogs.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be a dog.
Oh, wouldn't you?
No.
Okay.
What I'd be is a monkey.
Okay. Why?
A monkey. One of them monkeys, right, that climbs in the treetops. You know, one of the, I don't forget what they're called, but they climb to the highest treetops. They love to be high because I like to see what's going on
underneath. Yeah,
underneath.
love it.
The canopy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd love to be a canopy monkey.
Fabulous.
Where you can just look down and make sure all the other animals are all right.
Yeah, and keeping away from you.
And keeping away from me. Just leave me in my canopy.
Yeah.
Let me eat me bananas and me coconuts or whatever I eat.
Yeah.
And just let me crack on. So I'm not down there and there's no predators.
I love it.
I just want to be left alone.
Want to be left alone.
Yeah.
I always say that I'd want to be a fat house cat where I've just fed like cream, have me belly tickled and just so I can sleep, to be honest. Because I'm tired, Neil. I'm absolutely knackered.
Right.
I love that. Okay, so what's your favourite food?
Indians.
Indian. Spicy or?
Hot.
No.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's awesome. And I picked that up when I was in India.
Okay.
The Indian food. Yeah.
Was that when you were, why were you in India? Is this when you were working?
Yeah, I actually went away to sea when I was 16. I'd come from a pretty volatile home and all I wanted to do was run away. As soon as I was 16, signed up for the Merchant Navy.
Yeah.
Started off on the Isle of Man boats. Thought it was the best thing in the world. Leaving the port of Liverpool, going to do something in the Isle of Man. 4 hours away. Yeah, land ahoy.
Land ahoy, there he is.
Right. Only takes 40 minutes on the plane. I thought I'd gone to the time that, what was that thing? Jurassic Park or something.
Yeah.
Time that land forgot, go to a new. But you know what? It was in a way. It was in a way. I got away from all the madness in the house.
Yeah.
My dad and all that kind of stuff. And I was on there for a few years on the Isle of Man boat, and then I progressed.
You progressed?
I got my first big job and I worked on the QE2 for 5 years, the big cruise liner. And that was it, you know. I thought that was it.
Yeah.
I thought that was it. I remember joining in Southampton, and I went on my maiden voyage across the Atlantic to New York, going up the River Hudson, stayed up all night to watch the Statue of Liberty and all that kind of gear, just buzzing some bits.
Yeah.
And then we went on a world cruise.
Wow.
Right? And that's where my life went then, because we went on a world cruise. I was mates with some lads on there who were older than me, and they kept saying to me, "Can't wait to get to India." Why? We get some heroin. I was like, yeah, all right, sound. What's heroin? Didn't have a clue.
Well, what I'm going to do is, because I know bits of your story, I want to bring you back on at another point to talk just solely about your addiction, how you got into it and all that sort of stuff. So park that for a second. Circle back to the spicy food. Is it the hotter the better? Is that how you love it, or?
Yeah, I like it when I break out in a sweat.
I sweat eating hummus. It's terrible.
Do you?
Oh God, yeah.
No, if you have hummus, I always put chilli in the hummus.
Oh, you're not well.
Listen, tell me something that's all
I've heard that for years, love.
Yeah.
What's your favourite film? Godfather. Boss film.
Godfather. I've got two.
Go on.
Once Upon a Time in America.
Never seen it.
Robert De Niro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might get on that. What's it about?
It's just, he just goes back in time. It's like when he was a kid growing up in the Bronx in New York.
Yeah.
But it keeps flipping from the future to the past.
Oh, nice.
You know, things like that. I think it's on for nearly 4 hours.
Oh, is it?
Something to get your popcorn out to and
Yeah.
your hummus out to.
Humorous out, yeah. Hummus.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so before I go on to my last question, what I do want to do, I've just said just before, is I definitely want to get you back on if you're cool with it, just to talk more about your experience when you were a drug user, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And how you got into it, and then how you got out of it, any detoxes, rehabs, all that sort of stuff, but what worked for you. I think your story's dead inspiring, and I think you're an amazing person you're, again, a breath of fresh air to be around. A force of nature, my friend.
Thank you, Mark.
You monkey from the canopy. Ooh, yeah. Say 5 positive things about yourself.
This used to be really difficult.
Okay.
Right, but I can... Still a little bit uncomfortable with it, but I can pull 5 positive things about myself.
Go on.
I've got morals.
Yes.
I've got principles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm caring.
Okay. Can I say 5 positive things about you? Well, if you say no, I'm going to do it anyway.
I know you're not. Go on.
So, you're intelligent, you're friendly, you're approachable, you are definitely a loving person, and you're passionate. I could name 5 more if you want me to.
Yeah, I could name 5 more.
And then a further 5 more. You're a great person, and again, we're very blessed to have you working out of this building a couple of days a week. I'm sure Southport feels the same. Keep up the fight, keep doing what you're doing, and never fucking change, my friend.
That's so alright, that's just such a lovely thing to say, it really is. We're just sat in a room, just you and I you know, and to wear that, look, you get me there, because I am really an emotional kind of person anyway.
It's okay.
And it doesn't take a lot to get me crying.
That's not my intention, I apologise.
But they're nice, they're not sobby tears, what they are, they're like joyous.
Yeah.
Cry, tears they are.
Well,
Thank you for that.
I mean every single word of it, and I can't wait to get you back on here to talk more about your life and all the things that we've discussed before. But listen, enjoy the rest of your day, keep up the amazing work. Love you, buddy.
Thank you so much.
See you later.